Well, hello there, YouTube. Right, lots and lots of questions coming in on all of my social media channels about what you should be doing out in the garden if you're gardening in a area very similar to mine. Now, obviously, we're here in the UK. I'm on the south coast of the United Kingdom, in the New Forest. Here it's very mild and very wet, pretty much all year round. What I thought I would do is just take a quick walk around the North Lodge cottage garden and show you the garden. I'm laying myself completely bare with this one today. As you know, we've been away for several, 10 days. I've been back to work for a week now, so lots and lots of catching up to do. But I really just wanted to settle an awful lot of the gardeners out there. There's not a massive amount to do in the garden right now. So we're going to take a quick walk around and we're going to have a look at a few things. And I will endeavour to change the angles of the camera actually, because actually what I'm using is a new gimbal today. So it's actually quite difficult. But right, so we'll start here. Obviously, house behind me, the new patio is looking obviously still very, very lovely. But turning the camera around for you, you can see there is still a little bit of colour to be had. The likes of the Macmillan Nurse Rose from Peter Beals, still looking lovely. A few blooms dotted about on things like Harlow Car. Tell you what, let's go up and have a look at Harlow Car because it is looking rather splendid. Turn the camera around again while we walk around there. A few blooms, I say, still to be had on Harlow Car. And again, another rose from Peter Beals I would like to show you, which is called Ivor's Rose. A little bit frustrating on that one, actually. It's only a first year plant and it's actually a little bit on the floppy side. Let's turn this round again for you again. So yeah, Harlow Car. Still producing a few flowers. That's the sister rose of the country parson, which is this beauty here. Still a few blooms to be had on that one as well. The rose here that's putting on quite a nice show still, even though we are now in the second week of November, is Ivor's Rose. That one is from Peter Beals. A little bit frustrated with that one. It's very pretty. I love the colour of that one, but the floppiness on that one is really, really annoying. I'm hoping over a period of time that's going to correct itself and it's going to be a little bit more upright. Right, moving on. Olives are looking absolutely lovely. Really, really beautiful. I'm really pleased with the way those both gone in. I've actually got some fruit on this one here. If we zoom right in here, I don't personally like olives, but there is a few olives to be had on it. I'm going to be bringing some of the foliage from the olives in over the winter to deck the fireplace. As we move around into the vegetable and cutting garden and the trial garden, you can see why Hyde Hall from David Austin Roses ranks so highly with me. All of this green growth here, that is all Hyde Hall. Very, very healthy, very, very vigorous plant. And alongside it, again, making it onto my best for disease resistance collection. This one is Fragonard from George's Del Bar. Here in the UK, supplied by Peter Beals Roses. But look at that. It's a tower of, what, 3.5, maybe coming on 4 foot of really, really high glossy, healthy leaves. 2 or 3 nice blooms coming up there, but this is where the garden starts to get a little bit sad. The dahlia beds, the cutting garden, all looking very, very soggy and wet. If you are a subscriber to my exclusive content over on Instagram, same username over there, _gardener Ben. There are several tutorials there of how I winterize, how I look after my dahlia tubers. Some of the biggest media I've produced this season has actually been dahlia based. So there's obviously a huge thirst for knowledge when it comes to dahlias. I have got round to starting the process. Obviously, we've had no frost, as I said in a previous live event. There's no frost here yet in the UK, but I have pruned some of the dahlias down and I've started mulching. So some of these are now tucked up tight. And the saddest thing in the garden at the moment is my Dahlia Imperialis. The poor thing, all 14 feet of it towering over there, absolutely destroyed by the recent storms we've had in the UK. I lost a huge branch of it yesterday. You can see this stump here. That's still, what, 4.5 feet tall. That I cut off about 9 feet of that yesterday. It was right over the garage. Unfortunately, I really hope that the wind hasn't cracked the tuber. That stem had, I'll take it right down. You can see down there, but this particular stem had actually, you can see it's wobbly. I'm hoping it hasn't split the tuber out and I'm not going to lose that over the winter. But anyway, Dahlia Imperialis, and if you look right up to the heavens, right up at the very, very top here, right up there, there's a couple of flowers to come. I don't think it's going to make it to flowering. I looked back at my camera roll from last year, and Dahlia Imperialis made it to blooming first week of November, had 3 flowers on it over 3 days, and then the frost got it. No sign of frost this week, I don't think, here in the UK. Whether these will make it to blooming, I don't know, and whether it's worth growing this enormous plant just for that, I don't know. But still, it's always a challenge. But yeah, it's taken a right old beating from the wind. The main dahlia bed here, I will clear this over the next couple of days, get rid of all of these now and cut them right to the ground. Don't be afraid to do that if you're in a similar growing zone to me. The plants are going to know no difference between you cutting them to the floor and the frost mowing them to the floor, so don't be afraid of that. And the vegetable garden looking really untidy. I did strip out the sweet peas before we went away. That area is tidy. I did manage to bring all the succulents in and clean the greenhouse. It was all washed inside and out. Succulent collection is tucked up nice and safe and sound in the greenhouse, but haven't got round to clearing all of the squash. The butternut squash is still out here. The vines are slowly but surely fading. So I'm here to tell you that no, don't worry, just don't panic about it. There's plenty of time for you to get out and clear the garden, so just enjoy the season for now. Done a little bit of mulching. It looks like a giant mole has been through here, but that's actually me. Mulched this one. This one is a dahlia. This one is a varna. That one's already covered up. But the garden, as we move around into the major part of the garden, is looking very, very untidy. All the colour slowly seeping out of it. The stand of the trees that go along the back of the house, all slowly dropping their leaves. A few flowers to be had on the likes of Lady Emma Hamilton. You can see there is a little bit of colour still to be had around. A few blooms still to come. Whether they'll fully make it, I don't know. Things like this Rebecca, I tend to leave. I love the seed heads on these, and the bullfinches and the chaffinches. Absolutely love these. Hello, Mr. Robin. He's never far away from me. You can see him on the bench there. Often follows me around the garden. Few flowers to say, still to be had about the garden. This one is the Lady of Shalott from David Austin Roses. Still producing one or two flowers. There is exclusive content to come from me over on Instagram, which is the subscriber-based content at just 99 pence per month on rose hips. I'm not going to tell you which one those are, but there are some nice hips about in the garden at the moment. Really nice adaptation to the garden at this time of year. Unfortunately, it's been quite wet this season, so a lot of them I'm not entirely sure whether they're actually going to get round to ripening. But yes, one or two hardy perennials still in flower as well. This is salvia, black and blue, a really, really tender salvia. I'm waited with bated breath. As soon as we get warning there's going to be a frost, I'll leave this to take the frost. It will go black. As soon as we have a temperature under about -1, -2, the whole thing will go black, and I've got a bucket of mulch ready to go. It's worked for this particular plant for about 5 or 6 years now, and what I'll do is I'll cut it down the day after we've had our first frost, and I'll completely mulch it over, and that will just protect it from the worst of the winter weather. If you do live somewhere a little bit colder than we are here, and you're experiencing temperatures regularly below -5, -6, -7, you should consider taking semi-hardwood cuttings of this, or softwood cuttings from this one, or digging up the crown and taking it into an unhindered greenhouse or conservatory for the winter. Here on the south coast, when we move over to America, that's obviously going to be different, but right now I can get away with leaving plants like this in the ground. Again, the huge towering towers of Rebecca and Coronopsis, I'm going to leave those alone. The seed heads are adored by the birds. Leave those standing well into the very beginning part of next year. Bit sad, the hostas have all collapsed now, but a few flowers still to come on the likes of the crocus rose from David Austin Roses. There's a few flowers to be had on that. And as I moved through this part of the garden a little while ago, I actually just did notice that Roald Dahl from David Austin Roses is about to put on a massive show. Look at the buds on it. It obviously doesn't know that we're heading to the very end, well, mid part of November now. Lots and lots of buds still to come on Roald Dahl. One of the biggest job lists on the job to do today, or job, oh goodness me, what am I saying? I'm so tired. One of the biggest jobs on the list to do today is actually to plant last year's leftover bulbs that came out of the pots into the wildflower meadow. This area all nice and clear now. I trimmed this off and cleared this through just before we went away. So it's all nice and clear, and I will be planting hundreds of bulbs that came out of the pots into this area over the next couple of days. That's on the job list to do today. The leaves are all down in here. It's all ready to go. One or two flowers still to be had. I did post them to my grid a day or two ago on the Queen of Sweden. You can see towering up there, backed by that black sambucus, that black cutleaf elder. Nice flower up there on the Queen of Sweden. So there's still a little bit of colour to be had. And I'm going to take you around and show you just 2 more roses before we loop back around to the cottage. Just show you 2 more roses, one of which is the Lady Salisbury, who has no idea what season it is, still producing lots of blooms on these. Whether these will open properly, I don't know. And Molyneux from David Austin Roses. Look, it thinks it's June. Loads and loads of flowers. Absolutely beautiful blooms on Molyneux. Probably about half a dozen more flowers still to come. But yeah, lots and lots still to come. The likes of Benjamin Britten here as well. Look, still budding up and producing flowers. And one or two that I've actually missed there, way up high on Claire Austin. But the whole garden looking really very, very tired, as you would expect it to do at this time of year. Turning the camera around so I can talk to you just before we finish. So please, at this time of year, don't be particularly worried about going out there and tidying up. There's colour and there's life and there's love to be had in all of this particular part of season, even though it's wet and it's soggy for a lot of us. But I really do like this part of the season where the colour starts to seep out of things. I mean, if I turn the camera around, look at that Oster. That's lovely. It really is pretty, matches my hat. So just let the garden just go quiet for a while and enjoy this period of time where you don't have a massive amount to do. If you haven't got your bulbs in the ground yet, please don't worry. If you haven't planted up your winter pots, there's still time. And if, like me, you haven't got your dahlias winterized for the season, again, don't worry. There's worse things have happened at sea. So for now, there's really not a huge amount to do in the garden. Just watch and learn as it goes quiet for the rest of the season. I, of course, will be available to answer any questions. If you need anything answered at all, please don't hesitate to ask. And don't forget, if you're interested in joining the subscriber-based exclusive content over on Instagram, same username as here, _gardener Ben. It costs you just 99 pence per month. You have unlimited access to me. You can ask me questions whenever you like, and there is exclusive content there for you to watch you'll see nowhere else. And you can also request content that you wanted to see as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever it is that you're doing, but please enjoy the autumn season as we move through into the holiday season at the back end of 2023. It's been a very busy year, so I'm, for one, I'm going to take a little bit of a rest and only do what really needs doing. I'm not going to busy myself with too many things. I will see you all again very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.